Pecha Kucha 248, XMen The End, and some other stuff. Yeah, so I had a week I wasn't expecting to have. I was supposed to get a YouTube video up on Wednesday, didn't happen. Shit got in the way. Let's see what little I did do. So, what did I do? I read a book that I've had in my collection a long time called XMen The End. It's supposed to be like that Wolverine book. It's supposed to be some kind of closure to the X-Men after the fact. It's the second book of 3. I didn't read the one before and I didn't read the one afterwards. I've always thought the X-Men were too busy for their own good, and this is kind of why. So there's a lot of plots in this. The first one is a bunch of the X-Men have had kids. Their kids get kidnapped, so they have to go get their kids back. The parents are some of the people you always assumed would have kids, or maybe not so much. And then they've been kidnapped by Mr. Sinister, who turns out to be Gambit's dad because reasons. I'd say it's maybe the strongest plot point in the book because it's about Mr. Sinister and it's about Gambit, therefore it's about character development. It's about kind of like a narrative arc. Everything else is a little too big to grasp. Like the Shi'ar Empire, a giant intergalactic space empire, is at war with the X-Men because Leandra, the leader, has turned evil even though she had a romantic involvement with Professor Xavier for many years. Why? I don't know, and honestly I don't care. Any one of the reasons. Mind control, plot armor, whatever. Also, the second intergalactic war, Super Skrulls have invaded Earth. They can masquerade as anybody at any time, and they're just killing dudes all over the place. I'm not even sure why this is happening. I think it's the idea nobody likes the X-Men because they keep stopping the bad guys from winning. Third intergalactic war on the way. The Brood, which is basically the aliens from Aliens, which infect people and turn them into more aliens. Even though they're extinct, for plot reasons, they've come back from extinction just to fuck up everything. So now there's another reason for you not to trust the characters you think are the characters are actually the characters. And if that's not enough, Shadowcat is running for mayor in Chicago because we need some politics in our 3 intergalactic wars. Good God, at least it's drawn well. And not even a book I don't like, but it's so difficult to wrap your head around all the things happening to all the characters. It's too bloody much. And speaking of bad characterization, Yakuza Kawami is a remake of Yakuza, the first Yakuza game. Even Kiryu Kazama in this game comes off as a little too stiff for his own good. I was playing this game and I just got bored of it, and the characterization was a major part of that. I love Kiryu, but he's going in directions that don't quite make sense, especially when the side quests happen. The main antagonist is the evilest man in Japan, yet he starts the game as such a loser, and the game doesn't want to explain to you how he's had this role reversal in any time for it to make sense or for you to care. And then there's this little girl, MacGuffin girl, who Kiryu has to, I don't know, follow around so the plot happens. And I'm just like, I already know what the plot is. I can't be bothered to engage with, I feel like worse versions of these characters from the original, but I might just be having rose-tinted shades when I look back on the past. I ended up buying Ghost of Tsushima, which got more value out of a little old lady and a dying horse in terms of characterization. I teared up when my horse died, and I can't feel that way about X-Men The End or Yakuza Kawami, so fuck that shit. I guess that's me saying they're not for the win. So, right, I had a Griffin video that was supposed to go up. Where did that go? Well, it didn't go anywhere. I had 3.5 hours worth of footage that had to be compiled into a video of a length I had to determine. I kind of thought, let's keep it, around 10 minutes and I'll just talk over it. But then I had to figure out how to make these things happen. But before I had to do that, I had to figure out how to get into the fucking program I paid for. I lost my phone number for 2 weeks when O2 screwed me around. I spoke about that in passing. I couldn't get into Premiere Pro without verifying my phone number. The situation was resolved, but it's a warning for the future. Digital ownership is not ownership, it's renting. And if you get caught out, you're fucked. You have no recourse. So I imported all of my footage into Premiere Pro, and then I'm like, I know there's an easy way to shrink it all, speed it up, because I've done this in the past, but of course I don't remember how. It's been too long. And then I was like, oh yeah, I kind of probably want to put a title card on this so that I don't just start randomly. So I went into Photoshop, just took the images I ended up with, compiled them, and it looks pretty cool, I think, except for the terrible graphic design on the left. But hey, I mean, that's me kind of saying fuck you to graphic design more than anything else. So having shrunk the files down and then added my title card, I'm like, well, now all I need to do is dub this. That should be the easy part. I know all I have to do is push the microphone button and talk while the video plays in real time. And this is where my computer decided, I've put up with a lot of shit, but this is too much. It recorded the audio perfectly, but it wouldn't play it back so I could check, so I could decide if I wanted to re-edit it. So I've had to export the video several times to check what's going on, and then change settings and then re-export it, and it's been a fucking disaster because I've made some very... exporting videos is maybe the most complicated thing to do in Premiere Pro. I mean, your mileage may vary, but I've ultimately managed to get it where it is, and you'll see it today if everything is going to go the way I think it should. So, Sad Clown of the Week, maybe it's reality, maybe it's the American legal justice system. I don't know. Bill Cosby's out, apparently, of jail, and he can't be retried for the stuff they sent him to jail for. Not because he didn't do it, but because of some kind of technicality. I don't know, I don't want to know. It's just, this COVID, I mean, what planet are we on anymore? Anyway, that brings us to the end of Pecha Kucha 248. I might do another Colt Cougar Draws. I will be talking about some X-Men comics I read that were good, and I'll see you there.